Black, Poetic G. Beautiful love, always.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I am the curator of Black 31 magazine. Today, I'm here with another special guest from the community. This lady right here is a poet. This lady has a way with the words. She also has a hand for cooking, and we're gonna get into so many other different things that she gets into. So, and most importantly, we're gonna keep it community level. So, without further
Yes.
ado, can we please give it up for Divine Stylez? Let's go.
Hello, hello. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Let the people know who is Divine Stylez.
Uh, Divine Style is multifaceted. I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. I am a mother of three, first and foremost. I am daughter to the moon. I belong to the universe. I am a erotic performance poet. I am a domestic abuse advocate. I am the executive director of a nonprofit organization called Philly Hip Hop Foundation. I am I have an album out, so I guess I'm an artist in that way also. I am a multi entrepreneur. I own three businesses. One of them I co-own with my business partner, Ms. Jasper, which is The Insight. We do educational, immersive experiences all over the tri-state area. I am a personal chef, private chef, and caterer. So I also have Divine Soul Cafe, and I also have a sporting apparel business that I run with my brother called Stay Ready Apparel.
Okay.
I do a lot of things.
Okay. Absolutely. And I heard of every last one of those businesses. I think I've seen just about every last one of them on IG. So that's what I'm talking about. Got to keep it flowing. Got to keep it going. Most importantly, right? What do you love most about poetry?
What I love most about poetry is the ability to make up my own words, honestly. To make up my own words and to be able to express myself in a way that helps me heal.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And tell me this. What feeling do you get every time that you step on stage and perform one of your poems?
The feeling is always different, honestly. It's never the exact same feeling or emotion.
Okay.
So it just depends on the space I'm in, the headspace I'm in, the energy that's surrounding me. I am a light worker, but I'm also a dark healer. So I'm very sensitive to the energies around me. So it just depends on the energy around me sometimes. For the most part, I try to keep myself in high vibrations and good energy. So when I step on the stage, it's like a lightning bolt. I still get butterflies. My mouth still get dries. I still have to pee right before they call my name.
I heard
I still get all of that. So it's like a lightning bolt most of the time. Um, but in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. To dive into, because I want to get into the food tasting. What do you love most about cooking, and what's your favorite dish to cook?
What do I love most about cooking? Honestly, the thing I love the most about cooking is watching people eat my food. That's what I love most about cooking.
Okay.
And I don't have a favorite dish, and everybody asks that question to chefs. But I'm a classically trained chef. I went to the restaurant school at Walnut Hill College in West Philly. So I'm a classically trained chef, so there isn't a favorite thing I have to cook in particular. I prefer to cook breakfast. I love cooking breakfast. I will literally eat breakfast any time of the day.
Okay.
Like stuffed French toast. I make the most amazing eggs you will ever taste in your life. Um, yeah, I don't have a favorite thing to cook. Of course, everyone loves soul food, so I cook that a lot.
Uh-huh.
I don't really get to branch off and be adventurous when it comes to my cooking because most urban people like urban food. So I don't get to make things like frog legs. I don't get to make things like duck à l'orange. I don't get to make quiche often. I don't get to like stretch my chef muscles as much as I would like to because everyone likes to eat the same thing.
Absolutely. Now, considering that you're saying that, what dish would you love to present to the black community that they have no clue that you make?
Um, Something I love to make and I don't get to make often is duck. I make an amazing lamb anything. My lamb shoulder is crazy. But duck. I make a really good duck. I make a really good I bake. A lot of people don't know that I bake. Um
Okay.
so people are surprised when I offer desserts in my menus and they're like, "Oh, you get them from somewhere else." I'm like, no, I bake. Like I was a baker for about a good 6 years. Every year I bake my kids cakes and I design them and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know I'm a baker actually.
Okay. That's my brother on there. What's going on? That's my guy. He said, I love duck and honey glazed lamb ribs. Are you listen, see?
Hey,
See?
that's what I'm talking about. I like to do like I like to introduce people to different things. I love making Thai food. Thai food. Like tonight for dinner, in the wintertime, I make like a lot of stews and chilies and stuff. So tonight I made West Indian seafood stew. So it has swordfish in it. Most black people don't eat swordfish. They don't even know what it is. But it has swordfish in it. It has mussels in it. It has shrimp in it. It has kale and spinach. It has potatoes, carrots. It's really big on veggies. But when the people hear me say, "Oh, it got swordfish in it," they're like, "Swordfish? What the fuck?"
I hear that. Me and my wife might need to try out a bowl of that. We might need to try a bowl of that.
Come through, come through.
Absolutely. Um, when it comes to poetry, right? Name name uh three top poetry platforms that you love to visit all the time and perform your poetry at.
Um, let's see. The top three that I love to perform at. Um, Anything that either Poet MC or Lady Sarcasm is hosting or curating, I will be there.
Okay.
And Sultry Sundays, which is usually like the third or fourth Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
They're awesome. That's like home for me.
Yes.
And events curated by me. So,
Yeah.
so
I
anything
hear
by the Insight, anything by the Poet MC and Lady Sarcasm and Sultry Sundays. Those are my three top.
Okay. That's heavy. That's heavy. Um, I have an excellent question.
Mm.
Now, I know you are a poet. Now, specifically do why specifically do you speak more towards erotic poetry?
Um, so I was in a domestic abuse situation I was in a relationship for 6 years. The
Yes.
domestic abuse was actually about 4 years of those 6 years. I have two beautiful children, but it was a time in my life where I lost myself.
Yes.
I lost all of my identity. I had no idea who I was. It was a very dark space and time for me. And coming out of that relationship and conquering the domestic abuse, it led me back to myself. And eroticism and my sexual freedom helped me gain a lot of courage. It helped me gain a lot of insight into who I am. Learning about being able to decolonize my mindset when it comes to my body and my birthright as a woman to be able to enjoy pleasure and being pleased for myself, not for the consumption of men. uh it it speaks so much to my spirit, and I do erotic poetry because I'm actually a theater geek at heart. Like in high school, my major was arts and humanity, so being able to be more theatrical with the pieces, I'm now at a point where I'm actually erotic performance poet.
Okay.
So with my poetry, you get an actual scene. So I act it out. I'm very immersive with the audience. I conversate with them. They have to answer me back. I'm very hands on. So it helps me speak to my audience in a way that helps them understand me more. And I feel like everyone has a little bit of freak in them. Everyone has a little bit of kink in them. Everyone wants to be sexy. And a lot of times society downplays it, especially when it comes to the POC, I'm sorry, um, our community. We are, we have been overly sexualized so much as Black women and Black men also,
Yes.
that being able to take that back and own it for myself and own it
Yes.
for the Black community and the Black women and men that are not at a point in their mental state or emotional state where they can claim it, and assisting in that is one of the most amazing things that I have learned about myself. um, Learning that I am also a teacher at heart. So being able to educate and give people knowledge on sexuality, which the Insight does. We give a lot of resources at our events. Being able to bring professionals in, sexologists, people who dabble or are professionals in more sexual realms, and having them come out and speak to people, especially couples. I love working with couples. Just a lot of times in relationships, as a husband and a wife, you feel like there's certain things you can't talk to your wife about or you can't talk to your husband about. And one thing that you should definitely not have an issue with talking to them about is your sexuality and your curiosity when it comes to sexuality, because this is the person you promised to God that you're going to be with forever in front of
Yes.
your friends and family.
Yes.
So being openly sexual with this person and letting them know what you're into, I have seen in my experience build a stronger bond. Relationships last longer
Yeah.
because they have that sexual freedom. They're not
Yes.
afraid to share with their partners. I'm kind of into getting tied up, babe. Maybe it's a thing. You might, being able to share that and be open with it and have that safe space for your mate to share, because it comes with a lot of shame because of the colonization. Our sexuality comes with a lot of shame. It comes with a lot of embarrassment. And you shouldn't be embarrassed, especially if you're with your mate, you're with this man or woman that you're in a marriage with, or you've made this commitment to. You shouldn't
Yes.
be ashamed.
Yes. That's the truth. That's the truth. Now, just to retract, because I was hearing a whole lot, and I love what you were saying, right? Now, just to retract a little bit, I just wanted to ask now, when you was in that abusive relationship, right? Did you feel like that you were in a cage sexually, and now that you're doing the poetry now, are you out of that cage and just freeing yourself now?
I would was in a cage mentally, I was in a cage sexually, I was in all the cages. Mentally, emotionally, financially, sexually. I was so much in a fog mentally that nothing else mattered but my kids. And there was a moment in that relationship where he was choking me, and I literally was just like, you just kill me. I'm at this point in my life where I don't even want to live no more. I'm pretty sure you got the kids. My daughter, she can go to my sister. Like, I didn't even want to live no more. Like, go ahead and kill me. It was it was really that bad. He crushed my larynx. He threw me down the steps. I had fractured ribs. I had a black eye for a long time. You probably can't see it now, but if we're in person, you can still see the darkness under my eye. I had it for like 3 years straight, so I've been like getting stuff done. But I'm still very self conscious about it. Um, he chipped my tooth. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad, and I was literally not even. It wasn't figuratively in a cage. I was locked in the house. Like, he would go to work and lock me in the house, so I couldn't. Yeah, it was bad.
Wow, wow. I'm sorry you had to experience that.
And I appreciate that, but I tell people, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I personally want to hear, because I appreciate that man so much for showing me how strong I am. I appreciate
Yes.
that man so much and give gratitude to the universe, because in that space of darkness and nothingness, I found out how resilient I am. I found out how strong I am. I found out so much about myself.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm grateful. A lot of people
Yes.
don't make it out those situations, and I give honor to God for allowing me to see all the things I saw in the midst of that relationship, and learning so much about myself and my boundaries and what I won't stand and take. That I've met an amazing man who does everything. He's awesome. So I learned so much.
That's what I'm talking about. That's heavy. Um, Now you somewhat answered it, but I still gotta ask it because you somewhat answered it because I see that you have a new man now and he treats you better. But I still gotta ask it, right? Um,
I had to kiss a lot of frogs, though.
I understand. Did that time of you being with that now before I even ask this question, this was a black man, right?
Technically, no. He was Latino.
Okay, okay. All right. Well,
But I mean, technicalities, he was Latino, but Latinos are black, so.
yeah. So basically, what I wanted to ask from that, from your experience, did that change your outlook on black men or other men?
No, it actually didn't. I've never been the type of person. I've never been jaded. I'm not a jaded person. Everyone has their own life experiences.
Yes.
Everyone is their own individual person. So
Yes.
I never held what happened to me against anybody, because at the end of the day, I was never angry. Like, I didn't come out that relationship angry. I didn't come out of that relationship scared. I came out with a lot of trauma, and I took the time to heal. I did the shadow work. I'm still in therapy. Um, I'm in therapy with my daughter because she went through it with me. I've given myself time to heal and space to heal. Even now, like, I do have a man, but he also knows that I have a timeline. Like, I'm still in a space where I'm healing, and I spoke to him and we had a conversation, and I'm not willing to go into a relationship and commit myself fully to a man until I know I can be the proper type of wife. So he is, like I said, he's very patient with me, and he's waiting 1.5 years for my daughter to graduate high school so we can finish our therapy and our trauma therapy. But I've never been a jaded person. I didn't come out of the relationship angry at anybody. I didn't even send the man to jail. Like when we went to court, I had the judge mandate him 6 years of therapy, because at the end of the day, he still has to be a father to my child, or to my children. Actually, we have 2 kids together. And I wanted to break that generational curse, that cycle of fatherless children. I was a fatherless child. I didn't meet my father till I was in my 20s. He is a fatherless child. My mother is a fatherless child. Like that generational curse of raising these kids without a father, I had to break it. So I got him therapy so he could be a better man and a better father to our children.
I like that. I like that. See, that seemed like a sister that truly want the best for herself, her kids, and not only for your kids and yourself, but also for the man.
It's
That's
a
excellent.
must. It's a
That's
must.
excellent.
I
That's
can't
excellent.
expect him. I can't expect him to be the best father he can be if he's still dealing with his trauma. Um,
Yes.
you know, it has to stop somewhere. It has to. This world is full of fatherless children, and we're
Yes.
still healing from those wounds. We still are. It's still all these grown adult people that have this inner child that is broken because they didn't have a father or they didn't have a mother.
Yep.
And I couldn't be a part of that. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And I always lead. I always try to lead my life with love and not ego. So me putting him in jail wouldn't have done nothing but made him a better abuser at the end of the day. And that wouldn't have been me leading my life with love and light like I say I do.
Yes.
Leading my life with love and light is helping him find the help he needs to be the best person he can be. Not just for my kids, but for himself.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I commend you, sister. Seriously.
Okay.
That's heavy. That's heavy. I have a deep question, right? And uh, I really want you to answer this for the sisters, right? What do you have to say to all the sisters right now, right, who are out here in the world, and they may not be with that man no more that they desire so much, right? And they're putting so much energy towards keeping the children away from the father. What do you have to say to these women that are doing that?
Forgive. Forgive and use the moments that you had with that man. There had to be something about that man that made you lay down and have a child with him. My personal advice would be to forgive, because nothing is more important than these children you're raising, and they need a father. And if you didn't think that the man you laid down and had this child with was a good enough father, then you shouldn't have laid down with him. And I understand we all make mistakes. I don't say mistakes, but I'm just going to use that generally. I don't believe anything I've ever done was a mistake. It was either a lesson or a blessing. And sometimes it was both. And I didn't use my discernment, which is my big word, 2 big words for 2025, discernment and accountability. I
Absolutely.
didn't use my discernment when I laid down with that man and had kids with him. I was still mentally and emotionally in a bad space when I met him, recovering from the trauma from my ex-husband. I didn't give myself time to heal, and I didn't use discernment. I just know this man was the total opposite of my ex-husband, and that's what I went for. So I would say use this time as a lesson. Learn what it is that you want for the next relationship that you go into, and forgive that man that you laid down and bedded, because it was a decision you made. You made that decision, so you take accountability for it. You got to be an adult and sit down with this man or this woman and figure some shit out and be selfless, because it's not about you anymore. And if you feel as though it needs to be about you, then go and talk to somebody. There are counselors. You got to find you a tribe. Find you somebody that you can talk to about your anger that you might have towards this person, because sometimes it's necessary. But these kids need both parents. They need them.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I hear that. That is heavy. That is so
Women,
heavy.
please, ladies, take accountability, because he couldn't have been all that bad, especially if you got more than one kid by him. I mean, I understand certain circumstances like mine, like I was in an abusive relationship. My second child with this man, I was basically raped. So it was nothing I can do about that. But there had to be something about this man that you loved or cared about enough to give him a child. Like, that is a big thing.
Yep.
Like, your womb is sacred, your body is sacred, and you laid down with this man and had a baby with him. You gave him something that special. He had to be worth something. And if he wasn't worth something and you laid down and gave him a baby, then you need to introspectively think about that. And what does that make you if you lay down with a nothing man and had children? What does that say about you? Take accountability and forgive and move forward for the children.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. 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 That's heavy. That's heavy. And I feel like these words needed to be said. I wanted to specifically ask this question to a sister because I feel like in these times right now, we have more. I'm not even going to say that, but I feel like in these times now, right, we have a lot of people that just like to, talk about just half of the story. They don't like to talk about all the things that they have done. They don't like to say, hey, maybe I've done this wrong. Maybe I've done this wrong. Maybe I even invited this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we just sit back and say, oh, the other person, they're not here no more. They not this, they not that. So I love the fact that you are really delivering this to the people. This is excellent.
I have been through my therapy, and I have taken accountability for the mental instability, that space that I was in to stay with that man, because I had the means to leave once upon a time, and I stayed. I didn't stay because he was so amazing. I stayed because I had low self-esteem. I stayed because I was in such disarray mentally and emotionally that I didn't think anybody that I actually deserved that type of love. I felt like at that point in my life I deserved that type of love, and that was on me, because the saying a man or a woman is only going to do what you let them do, that is the absolute truth. And I allowed that man to do what he did to me because I wasn't in a mental or emotional space or strong enough to do what I needed to do to walk away from him. And when I got to that space, I walked away in peace. I walked away in love, and I forgave, because forgiveness isn't for the other person. Forgiveness is for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's the truth. That's the truth. Um, most importantly, Miss Divine Styles. I'm loving. I gotta call you Miss Divine Styles because you're giving us the divine. It's literally the divine knowledge right now. So I love it. How do you feel about the state of mental health within the Black community, and how is the state of the mental health within the Black community? Right? How is that destroying all our children nowadays? Could you see how a bunch of children are picking up guns, or they either want to be or we got our young girl trying to turn themselves into what they see on TV, like, and all these things are damaging to the mind state. How do you feel about that?
Um, I believe, just my belief, my opinion.
Okay.
Um, it, it starts in your home. Like, schools are only going to educate you so much to a certain extent. And most of that stuff that they teach you is lies. So So that goes back to having a mother and a father in the home. That stability. These young people, even I can't even say these young people period, because even in my generation, I didn't grow up with my father. My home was broken. Homes are still broken. This cycle is what needs to stop. These
Yes.
broken homes. Mothers can't responsibly take care of their children because the economy's all jacked up. We got to be at work most of the day. So there is nobody to watch our kids. The streets got them.
Yeah.
So I also believe that the community needs to pull together and
Yeah.
have more things for our youth. More after school programs, more just community things. They don't even necessarily have to be after school programs. There can be a bunch of men in the community that get together and take the kids to play basketball. Like, we just really need to come together as a people, because they're not going to do it for us. They're not going to
That's
do it
true.
for us.
Yes.
They not. And we need to work on being more forgiving, being more empathetic, and
Yes.
leading with love. Like, that is one of my mantras that I've had for the last 2 years. Lead your life with love and not ego. Ego
Absolutely.
destroys so much. But if you're loving people, strangers, your neighbors, all the other kids in the neighborhood that might not necessarily be your blood, leading with love can solve so many problems. Because if you love that little boy down the street like you love your own child, and you see him running down the street with no coat and it's 17 degrees, you're going to be concerned about that.
Yes.
If you see these, like, I talk to young men all the time. Like, I live near Broad and Alley. I see these young boys hanging outside on Broad and Alley. I make it my business to stop and speak to them. How you doing, young king, today? How you feeling? You good? You out here causing trouble? You shouldn't be doing that. What's your mom? Like, make it your business to
Yes.
say something.
Yes.
And you ain't got to be nasty about it. Like, a lot of times people are afraid to approach young people because it's like, oh, they out here acting crazy, you don't know what be going on. And I understand that, but I walk these streets like I know I'm God.
Yes.
So won't nobody dare come against me. And I'm gonna talk to the young men and the young women just like that. How you doing, queen? You look good. You know, you shouldn't be talking to the bus driver. I had to tell this little girl today on the bus, you shouldn't be talking to the bus driver like that, baby girl. That's making you look real ugly. And she just looked at me. She ain't say nothing nasty, but she was cussing up a storm. Young queen, you too pretty to be talking to her like that. Like, don't do that. And
Yep.
she looked like she was embarrassed and ashamed.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta speak to the king, the little prince and the little princess in these kids too. Just like you speak to your man like the king, you speak to this woman like the queen. These is princes and princesses. We gotta speak to them like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can be mild with the tongue and still be assertive with them, and they respect that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, why I love that you saying that, right? Because growing up, right, we've been through a lot of trauma, right? Growing up, and why?
Survival mode is a thing.
Yes, why do we think it's okay to disrespect other people just to get our point across? Why is it okay for the community to feel like we have to hurt one another to be heard?
Well, I'm not outside very often. Um, I have a very small circle of people. I have a tribe and I have a village.
Yes.
My tribe are my very close knit people, my sisters and my brothers. A lot of them are on here. What's up, King Shice? That's my brother. Lady Sarcasm is on. That's my sister. Like, I have my tribe, and then I have my village. My village are more of the outskirts of people that are in the poetry community, that are in my community service community. Like, I have my tribe and I have my village. And I speak to my tribe and my village with the utmost respect. And my
Yes.
tribe, they know me. They know me. So they know I might not be able to season all my words, but they know it's always said with love and concern.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, I don't understand why people feel as though they have to be disrespectful, but a lot of people haven't learned. They don't know how to speak. Like when
Yeah.
I was okay. I'm story. When I was a little girl, I had the sassiest mouth. I was such a know-it-all. I wanted to be a lawyer. So anytime I would get into trouble, any kind of trouble, you know what my mom would do instead of beating me? She would make me read the dictionary. She would make me take all the A's. I had to run through all the A's. I had to run through
Yes.
all the B's. By the time I was like 12, I knew just I was through the dictionary all the way to like V. I think I don't think I got to Z, but I think I was like at V. So I'm a very eloquent speaker. I love words, and a lot of these younger people, they don't have the words. They don't
Yes.
they don't have the proper knowledge. They don't understand that words are spells. I tell my daughter all the time, she's 16, about to be 17. Curse words are for people who are less educated. If you have to
Yeah.
curse every other word you say, that just means you don't have another word to put in its place.
Absolutely.
So they're not stupid. They just don't have another word to put in its place. Nobody goes to the library anymore. No one reads books anymore. People don't do that. I'm
True.
a I'm an avid book reader.
Yes.
So I think they disrespect each other because they don't have the proper words, or they haven't been taught, how to communicate with each other in a way that is uplifting and encouraging. And
Yes.
that is also the fault of the community. That is the fault of the school system. And that's something we need to get better with.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. Um.
He said the encyclopedia for you, right? Look, my mama ain't played it. She was like, I'm too
Encyclopedia.
tired to beat you. You won't get punished.
Absolutely. Encyclopedia, dictionary. Yeah. Growing up. Yeah. Growing up, I was raised by my dad, so that's definitely. We read articles every night, newspaper articles every night. As soon as I mess up on one word, I had to start over.
Start from the beginning. And that's how I recite my poetry. That's how I learn my poems. If I mess
Yeah.
up, I gotta go all the way to the beginning and start again. So I definitely,
I hear that. I hear that. Um. When it comes to the community, right? Right. Dive back into the community.
of course,
Why is gun violence such a problem right now?
hmm, it's too easy to get um those type of weapons. I just feel like it's too easy to get them. It's too easy to get them. And once again, it's knowledge and respect. My brother's in the military. I have
Uh-huh.
many family members that are in the military. They don't even call them guns. They're called weapons. That it's not a gun. It's your weapon, and they have a certain type of level of respect for it.
Yes.
It's they understand how severe um the actions of this weapon can be, so they respect it. Nobody
Yes.
respects the weapon anymore.
Mm.
They don't have any respect for it. A lot of
True.
times, and we're so desensitized to gun violence that it don't even matter no more. You see somebody getting shot in the street, you got your phone up recording it. We're so desensitized to violence.
Yes.
It's so normal
Yeah.
for us that
Yes.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point where a lot of times these kids are so desensitized by video games and the music videos, and they don't have, like, I feel like it's a pie chart.
Yes.
And a lot of times, us as people, youth, elders, number one, we need to come together and educate each other. And number two, a lot of people are missing pieces of their pie. So
Yes.
having a stable home,
Yes.
having the proper education in school, having the proper education at home, because I've taught my daughters and my son, like, they know more about Black history than Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of times we don't have pride in who we are as
True.
Black people.
Yes.
We don't have that pride and know our history, so we don't know. Like, I am an avid believer in knowledge is power. All knowledge. So the knowledge that you learn in school about the lies and the deception and all the decolonization that they're teaching us, and then you go home and you have your parents teach you the real.
That's the truth.
It takes both sides to live in this society. You can't
Yes.
have one without the other. And we're so desensitized and so ignorant and so numb to so many things that go on in life, that violence doesn't matter, death doesn't matter. And a lot of these young people don't understand that it's permanent. You don't have 3 or 4 lives like on a video game. Death is permanent. They don't
Absolutely.
get that. They don't understand it.
Absolutely.
And it's sad.
Absolutely. And I'm glad. I'm so glad that you said what you said, because it goes to take me back into respect. That word respect is major. So as I'm hearing it, right, it starts to make me think like they don't have respect for guns, right? And when you kind of think about it, it kind of feels like a sunken relationship when you think about it, because you don't have respect for guns, but you go use them. You don't have the respect for the woman that you're in a relationship but you keep going back and you keep abusing this woman. You get what I'm saying? So when I sit back and see this, that word respect matters so much into society. And what does respect mean to you?
First, I like to say they go back and use the women, and the women go back and use the men. People put themselves in these cycles. It all starts with knowledge of self. So if you're putting yourself in a situation where you know mentally and emotionally you're using this person, that means you don't have any respect for yourself. It's all about a mirror. We mirror each other. King, we mirror each other. Me and your
Yes.
wife, we mirror each other. That's my sister. You're my
Yes.
brother. We mirror each other. I
Yes.
respect you. You respect me. We might not see each other in years, months, days. It don't matter. But when I see you, how you doing, King? How's your
Absolutely.
wife? Y'all good? It's about the respect I have for myself, the light and the God I see in myself that allows me to shine my light and respect the people around me, whether they respect me or not, because I
Absolutely.
respect myself. And these
Yes.
young people don't have respect for themselves. They can't, a lot of times they can't look themselves in the mirror. You gotta have inward love. You gotta have inward light. You gotta have inward respect to come out your mouth and give affirmations to somebody.
That's
And it's
true.
hard. The
Yeah.
word respect to me is just that. It's my light. It's the God in me. And
Yes.
if I don't respect my brother and my sister, then I don't respect myself. And I'm shaming the God in me.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
not willing to do that no more. I did that for a long time. That was me with that man before. I'm not doing that. That's why I said I learned so much from that relationship.
Yes.
I'm not willing to disrespect the God in me
Yeah.
anymore.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, sister. Listen, can we give it up? We gotta give it up on that. Listen, let's go. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Two more questions before we wrap up. Two more questions.
Okay.
Um, what do you love most about yourself?
Um, what I love most about myself. The thing I love the most about myself is my confidence. is that my knowledge of self. That's what I love most about myself. Like, can't nobody tell me about me. I know all my flaws. I know all my hiccups. I know all my dumb shit. I know all of it.
Yeah.
I wear my flaws like badges of honor. This is who I am. I take accountability. That's what I love most about myself.
Yes. 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 That's heavy. And last but not least, right? What advice do you have for young sisters, right, growing up right now, and they need all advice they can get, right? Most importantly, what advice can you give them to number one, be grounded in being a woman first. Uh, two, becoming successful, right? Becoming successful and knowing how to move throughout the different fields so they can become successful the right way, and just not allowing a man to validate who they are. What's all the things tied up in
That
one
was
that
a
they need
lot. Wait, that was like 7 questions, King.
to
All right, say the first one again. Wait. I had my thinking caps on.
I understand. Most importantly is like what was that first one?
Something
I
about
know,
young
right? I
women.
said a
See,
lot.
you
I know,
already know. It was something
right?
about young women.
Young women, most importantly, being grounded and being a woman first.
Um, my advice on being grounded and a woman first. Um, give yourself grace. Be okay with not being okay, and find your tribe. Because a lot of times, young women surround themselves with other females who are just as damaged and hurt as they are, and the cycle can't be fixed if you're surrounded by the same energy. Try to find the highest frequency possible and stay on it, and remember that you are a human being. You are a human being. You're not a human doing. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
And you ain't gotta be superwoman all the time. Sit down sometimes. It's okay.
Yes. 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 That's heavy. Yes. Yes. And and I know I said that was the last one, but I still have one more.
It was like
Um.
it was like you asked something else too, but I can't remember what it was. Something about business or something like that.
You kind of you summed it all up of what they really need to know. You summed it up. But last but not least, I know I said the last one before, but this is
It's
the last but
okay.
not least. This is the last one. Um, why is why does why does God, right? God has to be the corner. Why does God have to be the cornerstone of everything that you are doing positive? Why does God have to be that cornerstone? And how successful would it be when you have God as that cornerstone?
I prefer to say creator.
Yes.
Um, because everyone has a different creator. But my creator is the cornerstone because I know what I've been through and I don't look like what I've been through. That's number one. Um, and if you have that foundation and knowledge of self, then you know how important it is to know that you were created to to be the best version of yourself.
Okay.
And I believe that there's nothing in this world that happens to me for my disadvantage. Everything is working for my good. Everything. The universe, my creator moves everything for my good. I walk into spaces like I own it because I do. And that foundation, and I know about my creator, keeps me very level-headed, because can't nobody tell me nothing about me.
Okay.
Because I know what my God does for me.
Yes. Yes. That's heavy. That's heavy. Let's go. Divine Style. Let's go.
And I also believe that everything I do, all my eroticism, all the sexual things I do, because I have gotten people that jump in my DMs when I talk about, 1 minute I'm talking about my creator and the universe, and they're like, well, you out here with your booty out doing blah blah blah. You think God wants you to do that? Well, I do. I honestly do. Because you have no idea how many people and how many married couples in particular that I have stewarded into longer lasting relationships. I do God's work, and no matter what I do, because I have the power of life and death in my tongue. So I speak light into every space I go into. And that is God's work.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I hear that. Let's go, sister. Let's go. Let's go. And most importantly, where can the people find you at?
You can find me on the Instagrams at the Insight. THE Hey Hayes. You can find me on Instagram at the Insight, THEEINSIGHT 513. I put it in the comments for y'all if y'all want to check me out. That is my business page. You can also follow my personal page from there, or you can click the little arrow up top right there, and it'll scroll down, and you can just boop, push follow from there. Also,
Yes.
I have so many community events going on. I have a boxing event coming up that I am partnering with my brother, who is my partner at Stay Ready Productions. We have an apparel line together. I also am looking for cooks, chefs, or donations. I'm also a part of another nonprofit called My Sister's Keeper, and we are trying to give cooking classes to the inner city youth, because a lot of times we live in food deserts, and I am a chef, so I'm trying to get to a space where I have 5 or 6 hot plates, and we teach the young people from the ages of 12 to 17 or 18 to cook meals at home that are not very expensive and that are high in nutrition. So if anybody wants to help with that, please hit me up. You can check my page for all my events coming up. Yeah.
That's heavy. That's heavy, y'all. Divine Styles. Listen, go support Divine Styles. Go check out the Insight. This is the CEO of the Insight.
Yes, I am. Me and my partner. We also have men's mental health awareness events coming up in 2025. We have our women's mental health awareness. We do hip hop and healing. We have resources for men and women coming out of incarceration.
Yes.
They all have different themes, but we always pair them with hip hop because hip hop is our culture. So they're called Hip Hop and Healing. We have men's and the women's mental health, and then we have our sexual freedom events, which is the Sexy in the City, which is also educational and immersive. So we give you resources and education when it comes to sexuality. We have sexologists. We have board certified people on the team that you guys can talk to. So hit me up. Any questions? My DMs. I always love a good DM slide.
I hear that, y'all. Listen, y'all. Y'all heard the sister. Go check out what she has going on. Divine Style. She doing a lot of things in the community. Listen, she got the good cooking popping. Listen, she got a lot of things going on. So listen, go support our sister. That's what it's about. Community support. Each and every week, y'all, please tap in with B.L.K 31 magazine. We could have your favorite poet. We could have your favorite artist. We could have your favorite cook. We could have your favorite mental health advocate. Listen, we could have
all the things.
Yeah, yes, exactly. We could have your favorite actor. Listen, we could have
Oh,
the
yep.
little girl
I was
down the
just in
street
a
with the
play
lemonade
too.
stand.
So I am also an actress. I was just in a play on the 21st. I have a I'm in an audio book that's coming out in January, and I'm in 2 movies that'll be on Netflix in 2025.
That's heavy. Look, and she got 2 movies coming on Netflix. Yo, listen. And she got 2 movies coming on Netflix. Listen, y'all better tap in. Y'all really need to tap in. So y'all know what we about. Listen, we are the platform of truth, the home of the champions, and the place where we uplift man, woman, and child. Peace and
Yes.
love, y'all. Appreciate you, sister.
Pay attention, train your mind. During these times, we need more education, not incarceration. To elevate from negativity at all costs. Knowledge and power. Remember this game spilled, given. Embrace it. T.Y.I, Poetic G. Peace and love, one. I love it.